Week 9 Finesse Weekly Review. Looking into Week 10 Finesse Weekly Preview. What did Week 9 and Week 10 have in common? An Andrew win and a Carter loss. Oh, wow, man. Very, very simple. Another simple week. I don't take much solace in the fact that I beat Gary. It's going to be like Alex, me, Cheese, and Galt taking solace in the fact that we beat Evan, Skeet, and their gang of misfits. However, albeit, let bygones be bygones, I digress, and we will officially take care of business against those guys. But that's another conversation for another day, another grounds for another time. Let's talk about what happened last week. Y'all know what it is. Come on now, guys. Wow, everybody is really, really bad. Boom. We'll go over the same things per the usual. Let's see what we'll start with. We'll start with a 9-11 level postal. Saquon Barkley had 155 and a tutty against the abysmal Houston Texans defense. Per the usual, they are just the dumping ground for running backs this season. I would expect no less than 100 and a touchdown from whatever running back plays them this year. They are Swiss cheese without the cheese. Very pathetic coaching, very pathetic D-line performance, very pathetic defensive coordinator. The game plan is just, I personally wouldn't want to be the guy that everybody know, like, oh, hey, we can run them over. It's like when everybody plays Gary. It's like you get a free bye week. We do get a bye week in fantasy football, and it is known as Gary. So Saquon Barkley went postal at the running back position. Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb, 25 and 28 respectively. They went absolutely berserk. Alpha wide receivers, Ravens take notes, can really impact a game. So Ravens, please take notice about that. Let's see here. We'll go, all right, boom. We'll go storylines. As far as the playoffs are starting to shape up. The brackets are starting to shape up. The main bracket and the what we're gonna now dub as the annual Gary Invitational, as which is the consolation bracket. It's I was telling one of our members that it seems as if the same few people are in it every single year. It's just Gary being the headline for that. So it's gonna be called from this point forward the annual Gary Invitational, with our host Gary as the local punching bag for the league. The winner's bracket's shaping up. We got a few spots to mesh out, but we think we've got 3 locks. We think we've got a 4th probably lock with Skeet Nasty, and we've got a few bottom feeders battling to try to stay out of the Gary Invitational. Boom. Again, Galton Skeet. This is it was I think 120. It was like 1.2 or something like that, and very, very close. And honestly, probably I would imagine both of them were kind of checking stat corrections just to make sure no one got stat corrected, because it was that close. And no 2020 in action on getting stat corrected after the decision had already been made. Anyway, I digress. Alex, he broke one off in Evan per the usual. Call no middle class consumer level people on getting one broke off in them. So we had Skeet won, Alex won. Alex got high, man, by the way. We'll get to that later. I gave Gary the business per the usual. I'm not even going to go into detail about that. I don't have the mental capacity nor the patience to go into detail about how bad Gary is. But let's see. Cheese and Scoggins, always a fun one. I think 90 to 87 or 92 to 84, something like that. At the expense of Dallas Goedert playing the rest of the season, Cheese was able to get a win. Caught Antonio Brown on sacrificing one win at the expense of everything else in your life. And that's it. So it's Skeet, myself, Alex, Cheese, and Clay. Clay became Calder's biological father. And he won by 27 points. And between his RB2, now we know his RB2 is going to be a little bit of a situation because he got Jefferson, and now looking at hindsight's 2020, it was a good move to get Jefferson to shore up a wide receiver position for Clay. But between his running back 2 spot and his wide receiver 1 spot, which is Cooper Kupp, by the way, this dude's a stud, top 3 wide receiver, unanimous. Between his wide receiver 1. An elite level talent, Cooper Kupp, and his running back 2, he got 0.2 points. 0.2 points. Cooper Kupp got a negative. I mean, if you tell me that's going to happen at any point this season, I'll laugh at you. He got a negative. Tyler Algier got 0.3, making it 0.2 total, and which is just kind of a testament to Calder's ineptitude as to how he's able to lose by a 30-piece nugget when those two don't do that. It's kind of shocking, honestly. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's very hard to watch Calder try to parade around and beat these people. Calder's roster's been decimated. And then Travis Etienne, he was a nobody. Now he's a somebody. He's the best player on his team. So I don't know. So he kind of gets fed, but he's also not great. So it's kind of like it's a weird dynamic, and mainly it just doesn't look that good for him. And more than likely he'll be a participant in the Gary Frazier Invitational this winter. What did we learn this week? Again, I brought this up last week. Galt is playing these games tight. I would say no, who, but I cannot. But Galt again came down to Monday night. It's like the 4th week in a row. I don't get it. You know what I also don't get? Why people don't get out of the way. Oh wow, ability not to blow up. So yeah, he played it. He come down to Monday night again. He what was it? Let's see. And Colno Biden on barely scraping by and barely getting the job done. And anyway, week 7, I have it right here. Week 7, 106 to 103. That was the Patriot debacle. It's shocking to say the least that they weren't able to take care of that. Gary, 156, 152. Are you kidding me? Dead clocks knocks Gary about 156. I mean, that's like top 5 highest scores for this season, and he broke it off in Galt. That came down to Monday night as well. So that's 2 games that is separated by a total of 7 points. And then he had beat Scoggins 80-77, 3 weeks in a row, that's 10 point differences in 3 weeks. It's kind of ridiculous, to be honest with you. And then lost to Skeet 127. In the last 4 weeks, Galt is 1-3 with a 11.7 point differential in 4 weeks. It's kind of insane, honestly. So this dude is kind of playing it close to the hip. Gary's team is indeed a dead clock. He has lost 2 straight in pathetic fashion after just breaking one off in Galt 6 weeks before then, also in pathetic fashion. So he is the definition of a dead clock. That is what Gary is. And then Alex's team is finally playing to his potential. High man 2 weeks in a row. Colno Justin Fields on finally playing to his potential. And Skeet's team, and this is something else we've learned, his team will score 100 plus. Granted, he might lose because he's just not that good. And that's just the reality of the situation. Now, his team might not get that much over 100, but it's more than likely going to get 100. So, anyway, that's kind of what we learned. The tier, Andrew, all by his lonesome per the usual. I was going to put Clay in this tier because Clay still looks good, but he beat it. He beat Calder. I mean, congratulations. What do you want? You want a road reflector what do you want? You want a cookie? Like, I don't care. No one cares. And on top of the Cup injury and his RB2 situation, this is kind of hard to put him in that tier. So I'm going to put him in the tier 2 with Clay, Galt, and Matt. Clay, Galt, and Matt. Matt is Galt. He's also really bad. Clay, Galt, and Skeet is what I meant to say. And tier 3 will consist of our just the barely scraping by, just the not greats, the Scoggins, Alex, and Evan. 4 it will be Calder, Cheese, not very good either of those either. And then tier Gary all by his lonesome per the usual. And like I said, hi man, Alex was like 131. He did it again. And speaking of again, the whole league was looking at him. Man, Gary's bad. He is so bad. Gary got low. Yeah, he gets so bad. Man, Gary's so bad. Man, it is so hard to watch. Man, Gary's bad. This is his show. This is his segment. We all should give them the respect he needs. Wow, he is the best. Wow, Gary, again, 80. Wow, what a pathetic score. What an absolutely abysmal and pathetic score. I truly feel as though if I just let my daughter play with my phone and just let her pick random people, I would have a better team than you do. I mean, it's shocking, really. I don't understand how bad you can really be, but nonetheless, I digress. Moving forward. Yeah, it's part of the norm now, if you will. And we'll go over the pathetic team performances for the week. Man, don't get me going about this. I got this. Okay, Gary, you can stop talking over the radio. Okay, boom. Pathetic team performances of the week. Miami beat Cleveland. 39-17. That's 22 points. I mean, they're not that good, and Tyreek Hill really didn't do a whole lot. So, why did this happen? Wow, just pathetic team performance from the Cleveland Browns. The Broncos, I am done! I'm done. The 17-10. I'm not gonna stop mentioning them in this performance because I don't have the vocal capacity to continue to spout off these guys and their ineptitude. Nathaniel Hackett and Russell Wilson ought to be ashamed of themselves for the things they allowed to. The fact that they're on TV a lot, I'm done. I'm just not doing it. I cannot do this today. At the 17-10. I mean, and by the way, the 10 points. One was off a broken play. By the way, I mean, you can't take advantage and score one more time off a broken play. I mean, and call no IRS on taking advantage of people and kicking them while they're down. I just don't get that. I just don't understand how they're so bad. And I mean, the Seahawks with the finesse, and I'm serious, of the absolute century. The Saints 20-10 to the Minka Fitzpatrick less Steelers. You're better at almost every position, maybe except J.J. Watt doesn't make the whole defensive line better, but J.J. Watt just fresh off an injury. I mean, y'all just look awful. The Raiders. You let Jeff Saturday, before he was even a coach, mind you, who, by the way, is not even a good coach, he lost to a prep school in high school, but he's not even a coach at all. But anyway, he tweets out a week before that the Raiders are not good. He literally said that. And then he gets hired, goes to Las Vegas in front of 65,000 people and proves that they are indeed not very good. It's absolutely disrespectful. It's cordial. It's just the cherry on top of cordiality. Goodness gracious. Wow, just a pathetic disgrace. Anyway, last thing, and we'll wrap up. Pause. We'll look into this week 11. This is ad lib, mind you. It looks to me like, there's the match of the week. Clay and Galt. This is, if Skeet were to lose, this is sole possession of first place in the Cheese division. 6-4, 7-3, Galt, Clay, respectively. We have Scoggins getting a much-needed win against Gary. Calder and Alex. This is a huge matchup. It's borderline match of the week just because of the implications to get it for the invitation. You don't want to get invited to the Gary Invitational. 4-6. That match is huge this weekend. Skeet and Cheese. Cheese kind of needs it. Skeet needs it. They both, and then me and Evan, 8-2, 5-5. Evan needs it. But I think one more win, and I lock up the bye. So I'd like to go ahead and do that, but you know how that goes. And then finally, my prop bets. After 3 weeks of hitting 3 for 3, I was 1 for 3 last week. My deepest sympathies to your wallets. Cousins went absolutely nuclear against the Bills, which is shocking. I should have known without under lights that he would do something. Mahomes did go 301 total yards over, and Amari Cooper somehow did not manage to break 64 yards, and it's honestly shocking that wasn't able to happen. This week, let's line your wallets, baby. Derrick Henry, 114 rushing and receiving yards. Sorry, not happening. It's against the Packers. Packers aren't great, but I don't imagine that the Titans are going to be up that much, even if the Packers are not a great football team. But just Derrick Henry's off a little bit of a slow week last week, so I just don't see it happening. It could, I just don't. Justin Herbie. Herb nasty. Herb the herbivore. 272 passing yards. I'm gonna take the over. They're gonna be down. He might get both of his toys back this week with Mike Evans, Keenan Allen. I kind of like that one. And Brandon Ayuk, 62 yards against Arizona. He hadn't got, I think, 3 out of the last 4 weeks he broke 80. Come on, give me that. I mean, just come on. That's ridiculous. Don't even do that. But again, y'all know what it is, man. Come on. Let me wrap up. Mega lethal, ultra sinister pause. And let's go ahead and get some trades going this week. I apologize in advance for anyone who has to work with Calder. Y'all know what it is. It's the trash bag. Y'all better get to finessing, or you're going to get finessed, become dinner, or eat dinner. That's your only two options. It's the trash bag. Go Ravens. Go trash bag clan. And let's see here. Calder. Wait.